That is a completely inappropriate introduction song with this voice. Guys, thank you so much for having me. My name's Fred. I'm going to start with a little apology because every time I get near a microphone, my voice gets even posher than it already is. So bizarre. This is the voice of a man whose parents genuinely felt that even the Queen was a little bit nouveau riche, and the word middle class was an insult. Absolutely bizarre. I mean, the thing is about growing up posh, as you remember, it's terribly shy, isn't it, growing up posh? Because everything you do is private. Your education is private, your healthcare is private, your banking is private. No one must know. We must keep this privilege hidden. But then, just before you leave home, your parents are like, "Oh, we almost forgot. Here's your voice. From the Battle of Britain to talk to strangers with for the rest of your fucking life." I hope you stay on the radar, Fred. So yes, I am quite posh, but also I'm quite gay. Which was a surprise to a lot of people, because I didn't find out I was gay for anything revolting, like self-awareness. I found out I was gay because my bank manager decided to tell me. When you are posh, as I said, you get given a private bank account by the king, and these banks are staffed exclusively by men called Jerry. And Jerry rang me on very hungover Sunday morning, a long time ago. He said, "Hello, Freddie." And I said, "Hello, Jerry." And he goes, "Look, bit of a sticky wicket. We found fraud on your card last night. And we'd like to go through your transactions to find out when the fraud started, when your transactions ended." And I said, "That's a very good idea, Jerry." And he said, "Wizard, at 8:30 p.m, you spent £64 in Soho at a place called Gay." And I thought to myself, that's not strictly speaking how you pronounce that, Joe. He then suggested a further £24 down the road at a pub called the Admiral Duncan, incidentally also a client of the bank, before withdrawing £2,000 in cash in Lagos and spending a further tenner on a rickshaw to Vauxhall. And I thought to myself, fucking hell, Fred, these midnight trips to Nigeria are wild. But secondly, you might be gay. Good thing about being posh and gay, of course, is you get to go abroad to do it. Just pop along to southern Europe where everyone's gay anyway because it's so hot. And you can do whatever you like. And that's exactly what I did. I lived in Paris after uni, which is, as we know, is very southern Europe now. And I had sex with a guy for the first time, and it was great. But all I could think about, weirdly, was school. Not because back then I'd yearned for it, although I kind of have. I remember reading George Orwell's book Down and Out in Paris and London, hoping it was a manual. Because back then, as we all remember at school 10, 15 years ago, just the word gay was slang for shit, right? I don't know if you guys will remember this. Like 10, 15 years ago, everything bad was gay. Like, maths was so gay, your parents were so gay, the weather could be so gay. Like, wind forward to Paris, there's a man's dick in my arse, and another one floating around sort of here. And all I can think at that exact moment is, this is pretty fucking gay, Fred. I don't know what a gay weather's take on this is. Are you jealous? But yeah, I keep thinking about school when it comes to sex. Like the other day, my boyfriend and I were painting this spare room, and I moved in with him recently. He's French. He's so French and so chic. I actually met him in black and white. We were painting this room, and we were using all this kind of like posh paints, because obviously on brand. And we've also taken in, I don't know if you've ever seen the aspirational nonsense of their names, like God's Hair, Kitty Wake, Elephant's Breath. Fucking hell, poor people just have brilliant white. And then you're just like, come on, poor people, get some more adjectives. Pure brilliant white. Anyway, we're painting this room, one thing leads to another, we start shagging, and my mind immediately goes back to school, because this is the second time I've jerked off with my pals Farrow and Ball watching. Anyway, that's quite a middle class shit. I should have known I was gay. I first went to boarding school when I was 7, and when I got there, I opted to play the bagpipes. Is there a gayer, louder cry for help than the bagpipes? You're blowing one end, fingering the other, there's a sack in between! But yeah, no, I did quite like it. I like my boarding school, and it was great. There's two main reasons I like my little prep school. First thing was the uniforms were pink, which was tremendous, obviously. And then secondly, we had fucking hovercraft. The teachers had built 2 hovercraft to drive us around it. It was so camp and lovely, and our little pink uniforms. It was like Thunderbirds, but with fully grown paedophiles. But yeah, I did quite like it, and I was able to, my senior school was even more homoerotic. My senior school, right, if you were good at anything, you either won a fez or a cravat. A fez, I was shit at everything, but I became fucking good, I can tell you. But yeah, I was able to go there, I was able to do all of my schooling. How much time do I have left? You haven't guys not run the thing, would you? I was able to do all of my schooling life because my grandmother paid the fees. She's an extraordinary woman, my grandmother. She had 2 main hobbies: kleptomania, even though she had everything and lived in a fucking castle, and killing animals. Kleptomania was nuts. She was like a shit Robin Hood. She stole from the rich to give to the rich. Just fucking married the sheriff of Nottingham instead. And the killing animals, the animals she enjoyed killing the most, right, were dove. Literally the messenger of peace, that animal. But she didn't have a message of peace to give, and to be fair to her, it's terribly difficult to love thy neighbour if you live within a moat. She got too frail, sadly, to shoot or to steal, and so her ambitions shifted to finding me a job and also curiously to outliving David Attenborough. And she didn't really. I actually found a job by myself, guys. I thought it'd be glad to hear, in the House of Lords, obviously. And I worked there for several years. I don't know if you know this. I found out this out the other day that the House of Lords was the first place, the first steps to decriminalise homosexuality actually started in the House of Lords, not the House of Commons. Amazing, really. A group of unelected public school boys got together to allow grown men to shag one another in the 1960s. Not highly surprising if you think about it. But I just want to say, on behalf of all Lords, on behalf of Biffo, Reggie, Rollo, Spiker, you're bloody welcome. Oh, fucking hell. Who knows? Anyway, I've got to go. But the last thing I want to say, guys, is when I came out to my dad, I rang him on the phone because courage, and I said, Dad, I'm gay. And my dad said, I had a friend at school who was gay. And I said, oh, did you really? He goes, yes, he shot himself. And I was like, oh, sorry, what? He goes, no, he missed. And I was like, I didn't really have any plans to do that at all. My father genuinely said, no, you're a terribly good shot. Thanks very much.